Big developments today about the future of Alexis Sanchez. Manchester City will make an offer for the Arsenal forward this week. We understand City are desperate to sign Sanchez before the window closes. Now, City want a straight cash deal. Arsenal keen to have players included in any potential deal. Now, the names that are being discussed are Raheem Sterling and Sergio Aguero. So could Aguero really end up at Arsenal? Well, City have always said he's not for sale, but that didn't stop Chelsea trying to sign him last month. Now, as far as Sanchez is concerned, we're told he's desperate to move to City because he's desperate to win titles. Throughout the summer, Arsenal's position has always been that Sanchez is happy and staying, even though he has less than a year left on his contract. Meanwhile, TV13 in Chile are reporting that Sanchez has asked to leave the Chile training camp to conduct personal business. Of course, we talked about Aguero before. We've been told that Arsenal have talked about Sterling being included in a deal. With time running out, it will be difficult for Arsenal to find a replacement for Sanchez, and that's why Sterling is being discussed. What about the future of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain? Well, it looks like he's played his last game in an Arsenal shirt. We told you yesterday that a fee had been agreed with Chelsea and Liverpool. Not out of this one yet. Arsenal are letting him go because he has just a year left on his contract and he's refused to sign a new deal. Now, Chelsea are willing to pay about £35 million. Liverpool have to decide whether they want to match that fee. In the meantime, Chelsea are discussing personal terms with Oxlade-Chamberlain's advisors. Now, he's with the England squad at the moment. They're playing in Malta on Thursdays. He's expected to stay behind to sort out his future away from Arsenal. Now, another player whose future is very, very uncertain at Arsenal is Shkodran Mustafi. Inter Milan very keen to take him on loan just a year after Arsenal signed him for about £35 million. Sky in Italy reporting that he wants to go to Inter and outline personal terms have already been agreed. Now, Arsenal would prefer a permanent deal, Inter pushing for a loan with an option to buy. So much going on at Arsenal today. Another player who looks like he's about to leave the club is Kieran Gibbs. He'd been close to agreeing a deal to move to Watford, but personal terms were an issue. Now we understand West Brom are close to signing him. The deal is worth about £7 million. Arsenal were hoping to get closer to £12 million early in the window. Staying at Arsenal, very interesting news about Jonny Evans. Could it be one in, one out at Arsenal? They're back in for Jonny Evans. They tried to sign him last summer, but he's going to cost a lot more now. Leicester and Manchester City want him to. West Brom value him at up to £30 million. Now, we're expecting City to come back with an improved bid before Thursday. Leicester City, for their part, they don't want to get caught up in a bidding war. Yes, what a window it's been at Liverpool on and off the pitch. Now, they've made two bids for Thomas Lemar. Both have been rejected by Monaco. The second bid was a club record £65 million. Now, there have been reports today that they made a third bid, but we're told that is not the case. Now, Monaco are under no pressure to sell. After all, they're on course to raise more than £300 million from selling players this summer. So Monaco want them to stay, but we're told every player does have his price. Lemar wants to move, but he's not kicking up a fuss. He played all 90 minutes as Monaco beat Marseille 6-1 on Sunday. He's currently with the France squad just outside Paris. So that is Lemar. What does that all mean for the future of Philippe Coutinho? Is he going to get his dream move to Barcelona? Well, he's flown to Brazil and he's been training with the national team. And guess what? His back injury has got much, much better. His Brazilian doctor says Coutinho is in perfect physical condition. And he says the back injury that stopped him playing for Liverpool has been caused by emotional stress. In the meantime, we're told that Coutinho is still desperate to go to Barcelona, and they say they will sign one or two players this week. Barcelona sporting director Robert Fernandez says they're negotiating about one player, and they hope to reach a conclusion. So that is Philippe Coutinho. Another player that has been mentioned when we've been talking about Liverpool is Renato Sanchez. Big developments today on his future. We're told Liverpool have dropped their interest in signing the Bayern Munich and Portugal midfielder. Liverpool have made several inquiries about his availability, but our information is that they've decided to move on. Sanchez wants to leave Bayern to get more game time. Swansea were interested in a really ambitious move. That hasn't worked out. Monaco still interested. His agent was at the Monaco game on Sunday. His agent is the same as Diego Costa's agent. Of course, that is George Mendes, and it wouldn't be a transfer centre without an update on the one and only Diego Costa. We're told that more talks are being held between Chelsea and Atletico Madrid. Costa desperate to return to Atletico, but because of their transfer ban, he can't play for them until January. Now, Atletico don't want to pay his £150,000 a week wages till then, and they don't want to pay Chelsea's £50 million asking price. Now, Costa could go out on loan to another club until January. That is one option that's being explored at the moment. But Atletico are not an easy club to negotiate with. Staying at Chelsea, and they're getting closer and closer to signing Danny Drinkwater from Leicester City. Leicester City value him at £40 million. Chelsea trying to get him for less than that. The player keeping his head down, but he wants to move and he wants Champions League football. Staying at Chelsea, they're still very, very interested in signing Ross Barkley from Everton. Of course, he has under a year left on his contract. He's refusing to sign a new deal. Everton will not let him go cheap, and he's currently sidelined with a hamstring injury. Spurs still also very keen on Barkley as well. One more to tell you about at Chelsea. They're still very, very interested in signing Fernando Llorente. They're stepping up their efforts to get him from Swansea. Antonio Conte wants another striker. Swansea looking for up to £20 million. Now, Llorente will be allowed to leave if Swansea tie up a deal for Wilfred Boney. Let's go to West Bromwich Albion and the future of one of their players, Nacer Chadli. Now, it looks like he could be leaving this week. Swansea City want him, and we're being told by one source that Leicester City also interested. Now, that has not been confirmed by the clubs. Chadli would cost about £20 million. Now, Everton going to be busy in the next few days, and they're very close to agreeing a deal for Nikola Vlasic. He's a Croatian attacking midfielder who plays for Hajduk Split. Everton were impressed with him when they played against Split in the Europa League. Now, the deal is likely to be worth up to about £10 million. Everton still working hard to buy a striker as well. Let's go quickly to Newcastle. And the man you see here, an update on the future of Dwight Gale. We're told Newcastle are prepared to sell Gale, but only if they can line up a replacement. Despite ending last season as top scorer in the Championship, Gale was dropped at the weekend. Benitez said last week the striker needs to regain his confidence. What about William Carvalho? West Ham supporters very excited about the possibility of him coming to West Ham. Now, we know that Slaven Bilic is going to be given more time, but is he going to get the midfielder he wants? Well, talks between Sporting and West Ham broke down last week. Sporting holding out for £40 million. West Ham not willing to go that high. Now, there's no indication yet that West Ham have gone back in for him, but it would only take a phone call for that all to change. Now, let's finish off the transfer centre with Ivan Perisic. He's the fourth player Jose Mourinho wanted to sign this summer. United refused to pay Inter's £48 million asking price. But is there a chance United will make a late bid? Well, not according to Perisic's Croatia national manager. Ante Kacic says he's spoken to Perisic. Perisic is happy at Inter and he's staying at Inter. Always nice to end on a happy note.